Yeah, greetings. This is Obi speaking. Madabuchobi Emmanuel is my name. You can call me Obi1 for short, your finance coach. Okay, on this episode, we'll be looking at Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank PLC has joined the list of other banks, for their hybrid offer, and we'll be analyzing the nature of probably it's a good buy or hold or a sell. Probably you shouldn't buy. So I'll be analyzing Zenith Bank, the financial and non-financial. Okay, before now I've been doing the financials only, but now I'm looking at the non-financial as well. Always remember to do your own research before you make your final investment decision. Okay, but however, you could use my own research as a key input into your own research. Okay, so I want to share finding of my research to you in this video briefly. Okay, so for as I said, I'm doing a balance analysis, looking at the non-financial because looking at the balance scorecard perspective, it's good to do the non-financial because the non-financial drives the financial. The non-financial, like the customer perspective, how does the bank attend to customers, the internal process in terms of their operating time, corporate governance in terms of the management of the bank, the directors, the NED, non-executive directors, and the likes. How do they manage the banks? And also we also look at the financials. Okay, so if you want to do analysis, it's good to look at non-financial and financial, and this is what I've done in this video. So I did some key data points on the non-financial and also like 10 data points on the financial before coming to making my general recommendation. Okay, as I said, this video will be short, and if you need more analysis, in-depth analysis, well, I'll talk about valuation and the likes. You can always subscribe to our private channel. Okay, but this is a general channel, so we'll do a general analysis here. So the non-financial, the MD, a female MD, the Dr. Adara Ume Oji is the MD, okay, and you could see usually most entity from research that have female MD usually do well because female are seen to be a bit more transparent and prudent. Okay, so that's statistics anyway, but I'm positive that also the GMD will also do well. And the Zenith Bank was number one bank in Nigeria by Tier 1 Capital in 2024. That's this year by Bankers Magazine. So this is based on Tier 1 capital, that's the size, their capital adequacy, meaning that they are really liquid, they have enough capital to meet any demand, coming from the customer. This is by Bankers Magazine. They also achieved being the best corporate governance bank in 2024 by World Finance Corporate Governance. These are the source of these statistics. This is also good for the bank. It's also a good sentiment. In buying a company stock, always check the news about the company. Don't just look at the financial, look at what is the sentiment. So this also shows a positive sentiment for me. And always remember that this is a public offering, and most time after public offer, because of the high sales of share, the share price of generally most bank could come down, but eventually those with strong fundamental will go up eventually. And when you're investing, it should be for long term. It's not trading and it's not speculation. So investing is like, yeah, investing for 5, 10 years. Okay, it's not like for 6 months or 7 months. So fundamental is based on that assumption that you are looking at the long term of your investment, not short term. So take notes. These are the assumption of my analysis. And this bank also was the second best corporate governance, corporate banking, achieved second best corporate banking experience. Okay, 2023 by KPMG Customer Experience Survey. So they were the second in corporate banking. Okay, so they were the second. Okay, and that means that in terms of corporate banking, like SMEs, and if you're a corporate entity, you get best. There are some that came first under retail banking. Okay, maybe I'll share you in some of my videos. I've analyzed some other banks like Stanbic, IBTC, and the like. But let me not talk about that here. So this is basically for Zenith. So in terms of the non-financial and the news, I can see it is positive for the bank. I did not see negative news as regards this bank based on my research. So let me look at the financials. my financials, I look at like 10 financial indicators of the bank. I look at the operating margin. I look at the operating margin. This operating margin shows how much they are making in terms of the profits, from each retained earnings that they made. Okay, so that's the operating margin. I look at their basic earnings per share. Now I look at this basic earnings per share shows how much they are making for each ordinary share that they are making. So that's the basic earnings. That's the basic earnings per share. Then I also look at the diluted earnings per share, just like the basic earnings per share, but we look at other options. Okay. Then I also look at the return on equity. This return on equity shows how much they are making for each investment in equity by their shareholders. Return on assets, this is also show how much are they making from the total asset that they have, both fixed and current asset. Asset are like your land and building, your property, plant and equipment in general. These are your assets, including cash is also your assets. Return on investment also, like it's called like rules, return on capital employed. It shows both the return you make both by equity contributor and debt contributor. These are financial terminology, so that's why I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. You will understand each of these ratios better. Okay, so if you've been watching my channel, so make sure you subscribe so you can understand, or either on our public channel. We also have a private channel which is subscription based. Okay, but are very affordable though. Okay, so you should get abreast to the latest information where you can optimize your financials in terms of make money from the news that you hear. Okay, so you can also subscribe to my private channel. That's fine. If not, you can do my public channel. You also see very good content in there. So that's return on. We also have long-term debt to equity ratio. This one shows the amount of debts they have in their compared to the equity. Equity is what they have in terms of the owner's contribution to the business, the shareholders. While debt are investors, people that invested in the bank, like bonds and the like. So we also have total debt to equity. This is like the debt to equity ratio. Total debt to equity also shows the debt compared to the equity. Equity is what they own, while debt is what they owe. Dividend yield, there are some banks or companies that pay dividend. You check, the dividend that they yield in terms of percentage. PE ratio, this is very important. Price earning ratio. Price is like how much you bought the shares, and the E is the earnings, how much the your investment is earning. So these are the indicators. I compare the company and the banking industry and look at the score. This green means good, average means yellow, red means bad. Okay, based on operating profit margin, you could see from my table here that the company did more than the industry, over 65% in terms of operating profit margin. So they are making good profits, margin, good profit margin for each $100 earnings. Basic earnings per share, that's how much they make based on their each ordinary share that they have, how much they earn, like 21 naira 55 kobo by the bank, while the industry is making 5 naira 60 kobo. So diluted earnings per share also very good. The returns on equity also were also equally excellent, more than the industry average. But the debt to equity ratio was very close to the industry average. Like they are kind of, there's kind of good number of debt compared to the equity, so I gave it yellow. Dividend yield is good. Price earning ratio means that, yeah, they looks like undervalued. There's opportunity for them to do better than what they are doing now. Okay, so that's, I feel that's one of the reasons why I'm saying it's good to buy this particular company share for the long term. Okay, so this analysis, I just have to summarize it because I don't want this video to be more than 10 minutes. Okay, and so they have, let's look at the summary of my analysis. So they have basically good, which is 8 good, yellow is 2 red, no red. So for me, my take is it's a buy. You could buy the bank shares, which is a good buy for me because they have more goods. Don't forget to subscribe and like our public channel, and you may want to join our private channel, well, just with 2,000 naira only on a monthly subscription basis if you wish. But generally, you will see find good content on our public channel. Thank you for listening. Watch out for our next video. Bye for now.